guys ready?
No. I need your phone.
What do you need my phone for?
Because that's where your Pixar.
Hey, not bad.
Not her, too.
So today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to talk about the Pixar franchise in the films. And actually, I'm going to interview the kids. I'll give some input, but I'm really interested to know what the kids think about the Pixar films. And this particular segment comes from one of our viewers named Zoe, who specifically requested it. So we wanted to shout out to Zoe. You gonna shout out?
Hi, Zoe.
All right. And I'm going to basically ask the kids about the Pixar movies and which are their favorites and why. All right, well, we want to start with Lainey? All right, we're going to start with Lainey. So which Pixar films do you like the best?
I think I like Wall-E and Brave the best.
Okay, now let's start with Wall-E. How come Wall-E?
I just think he's like a cute little robot, and he's on Earth by his own. And I know like there's satellites and stuff that go to Mars and stuff, and it kind of reminds me of space, which I really like.
Okay, so you like the space aspect of it. And he is a cute little robot. And you know, we have background with robots that we like with R2-D2, and Colton, I know you like BB-8 from the new stuff.
An Iron Giant.
An Iron Giant, yes. So you guys have a fondness for robots. Now, there's a nice message in Wall-E too, or it's actually an important message, which talks about how the human race, people like us, we get attached to screens and devices and technology, and because of that, we become lazy or inert. It means that we don't move enough and we don't do anything. So remember when Wall-E gets up to space with all the people and the ship and everything, they're not walking. They're being kind of floated around on these like airlifted sleds and everything because they don't do anything for themselves anymore. So it's mostly about the robots. So I think that's an important message, especially because you know what we're doing right now is very screen-based, but you know we don't want to encourage that. What else about Wall-E do you like?
I also like how the opening picture, I think that's cute because you can only see his little eyes.
Yeah, he is a very, very adorable robot, and he's a nice character, so that's good. And what other films do you like with Pixar?
I like Brave.
Okay, and how come you like Brave?
I like it because she's a girl, but she's actually really brave. And
I wonder if that's why they titled it that. Just kidding, go ahead.
And I like how she follows the wispies, or whatever they are, the little blue things.
Right.
In the forest.
The sprites.
And I like how she participates in the thing her dad participates, which is like the arrow and bow.
The archery, yes,
Yeah.
she wants to compete. So she's a strong female character. She's a princess, but she's a warrior at the same time, which makes her unique for Disney princesses. And she is a Disney princess, so that's kind of cool. So that gives, and she looks different than the other Disney princesses. Like her hair is not perfectly kept, and she, you know, and I think that's great. I think that's kind of a cool thing. Is that one of the reasons you like her? Or? Okay, all right.
Also, because her mom says no to most of this stuff, but she follows her dreams anyway.
Right. And I don't think her mom's trying to be mean. Her mom's trying to get her to be what we consider like a typical princess, prim and proper and everything else. But then her mom comes around at the end and realizes, this is my daughter and it's still okay and she's still a princess and she can be that way. So that's a good message too. Colton, which one?
Monsters, Inc.
You like Monsters, Inc.? How come you like Monsters, Inc.?
Because they're little monsters, and one's big and one's little. Mike Wazowski and Sully. Sully is the one that's pretty big, but Mike Wazowski is like little small.
He's a little guy. And do you like them? Why do you like them? Because they're cuddly, or do you like them because they're funny? What reason do you like them so much?
Because they're funny.
They're funny. And Mike Wazowski is very funny. He's actually voiced by Billy Crystal, who's a really good comedian, more from Daddy's era of watching. But they're both really good characters. Do you like the story with Boo, the little girl Boo? You know how how he goes and they get scares from the little kids. Do you like that part of it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's funny.
it's funny. Lainey, do you also like Monsters, Inc.?
It's okay.
All right.
I mean, Colton does watch it a lot, but even from the start, I didn't really like
It wasn't
it.
one of your favorites. Okay. Do you like any other Pixar films, Colton, that you can think of?
The Good Dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur. Who's your favorite character in The Good Dinosaur? You don't have to feed him the answers.
The
He's good. He
dinosaur.
knows. The dinosaur, Arlo? Right. He's a nice dinosaur. He's a nice character. Now that story is very different for a Pixar film. It doesn't follow the normal storylines. It goes it starts out in one way and it kind of turns left story-wise for me, narrative, but you enjoyed it. Did you like the little boy in it, the human character? Do you like him or do you pretty much just like it because of the dinosaurs?
I like it because of the dinosaurs.
Okay. Now are there any other films that you guys want to bring up that you like?
Do you like Incredibles or anything?
Nope.
No? Well, let me ask you this. So there's several of the Pixar films are franchises now. So you've got the Toy Story films, the Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, and the Incredibles, which Lainey just mentioned. Neither one of you mentioned any of those. Is there a reason for that? Lainey, how do you feel about like the Toy Story and the Finding Nemo and Finding Dory films?
Toy Story, I think it's a little bit weird how the toys come to life, and I don't really follow it,
Okay.
but I guess
Colton, how about you? Do you like Toy Story? Do you like any of the characters in Toy Story, though? Or not really?
I like two.
Who do you like?
I like the dog, and
Okay.
I like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I kind of thought you liked Buzz Lightyear. You seem to like him a lot. So you like a couple of the characters, but do you follow the story? Do you understand the story or not really?
No.
No. Okay.
the only character I like in it is I think it's a donkey or a horse. I think it's horse.
Yeah.
That Jesse rides on.
Right. Bullseye. Yes.
I like the horse.
The horse is
Brown
fun.
horse.
Yeah, he's cute. He's a fun horse. What about The Incredibles?
She likes the girl.
The Incredibles, it's a little bit iffy for me, but I mean, I like parts of it.
Okay. Colton? You're not into The Incredibles? All right, and the last franchise I'll talk about in there is the Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. How do you guys feel about that one?
I don't really like that
Any reason?
because they talk.
Because the animals talk, the fish talk, and you don't like it because the fish talk?
I think I like Finding Dory
Okay.
a little bit.
More than the other one? And I thought, did you like Hank in Finding Dory? No, not really. So
I only like Nemo.
you only like Nemo. So Colton, are you telling me if we came home and we went in Lainey's room and Lainey's fish talked, you wouldn't think that was cool? No, not really. I think it was really cool. I think we could make a lot of money if we had a talking fish. You don't think so? All right. Last thing we'll talk
We're
about.
not selling away my fish.
You're not selling your fish just for the hell of it? Okay. So I'll talk about one more thing with Pixar. Now, there is a theory that all the Pixar films are related, and it's one big universe. So all these characters are within that universe. Have you ever thought about that? Like the Toy Story toys are part of another universe, and the Incredibles are superheroes in that universe, and everything else. They all exist within one. Have you ever looked into that at all, or thought about that? Do you believe that? Do you think that it's all related, or do you think they're all separate stories?
They're all separate stories.
For you, they're all separate stories. What about you, Lainey?
I think they have some of the same way into it, but I don't think it's
Interrelated.
yeah.
Right. Well, certainly the animation is the same in all of it. And I will tell you this, I'll give you this little fact, and this is a fact that our viewers I'm sure already know, but maybe you don't. And that is the company Pixar was created by George Lucas, the guy who created Star Wars. And he was helpful in founding that company because he needed animation for certain films where they were doing special effects. So he helped a lot with the development of that company. And then when they achieved what he needed it to, which was basically advances in animation and CGI, he then basically said, I don't need the company anymore, and sold it off, and Disney sort of picked it up. So that's kind of cool. So there's a little bit of an ancestry there that you might appreciate. All right, well, anything else you guys want to say about Pixar?
No, but I do want to say one thing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about the joke, Zoe.
I'm not Zoe. I'm all about the jokes. Have a good day.